This was the week where cattle across the country's butts became a little bit itchier as Americans with COVID have been buying up and administering the unproven livestock dewormer Ivermectin to treat themselves. It's been pushed by Fox News. It's been pushed by politicians like Senator Rand Paul and Ron Johnson. The CDC has reported a 24-fold increase in Ivermectin prescriptions. And my question is, who are the doctors prescribing this? Like, are they veterinarians? Because that's the only way it makes sense. Like, and that wouldn't surprise me if more Americans could afford to see a vet than they could an actual doctor. Like, that actually checks out. But now, let's be real, we're making horse meds too expensive, and pretty soon horses are going to have to start like cooking meth and selling it in order to pay for their prescription drugs. There's going to be like a whole series about them. And then cows will be like, we need moo to care for all.
Yes.
Yes, queen. Yes. Apparently, trips to the hospital because of ivermectin poisoning have increased. People are having explosive diarrhea, all because, remember, they won't take the COVID-19 vaccine and I guess not wear a mask or stay home. One of those people, this is the news, one of those people who's taking the drug is disgraced MAGA star Milo Yiannapoulos, who posted on wherever the hell he's still allowed to post, Telegram, that Parler, that he's got Delta. He says he got Delta from a vaccinated person and it's hitting him hard. He's got a fever and aches and he's lost 80% of his taste, which is funny because he lost the other 20% thanks to his disco Hitler fashion sense.
Mm-hmm.
Then he posted this photo on Telegram of himself self-administering the ivermectin with the caption, "Now we wait."
Oh it's got cows and pigs on it.
Literal cows and pigs on the bottle.
Oh my God. Please.
Just this like bloody needle.
If you take the caption from his Instagram upload, run it through Google Translate into German or Greek, because Yiannapoulos, and then translate it back into English, it says, "Please, please, please look at me."
I know. I mean, the last I saw of Milo, other than the RNC in 2016, was when he was on InfoWars, just like pouring some of those supplements into his hand, going like, well, if it doesn't kill me. Like, it was doing something else medically ridiculous. It was doing something, another non-FDA approved fucking stunt for clicks. And yeah, he wants us to talk about him. I want to just like, I wish that the COVID denialism I wish it made sense a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wish there was an angle that like checked out, but none of it checks out. It's like, we don't want to be locked down. We want our freedoms. We don't want the vaccine, but we also don't want the mask. Okay, so then none of that makes sense because all y'all are dying.
Well,
okay,
I would get it if it's just, I don't want a government to mandate that I wear a mask. Like, I get that if a doctor tells me, if everyone tells me, but if the government's mandating that I do it, if that's the only thing, that makes sense. That is a strict anti-government overreach thing. And again, like, this is me trying desperately to come to terms with a consistent thing. And if you talk to anybody, like, I make a point to talk to conservatives to be like, call me crazy, burst my bubble. And I haven't gotten anyone who fully says it, but I do understand people who are like, I just don't want the government to tell me to do it. But it never is just that. It is, if a private business tells me I have to wear a mask to walk inside, I hate that private business. I think that should be illegal. I'm going to wear a mask inside that. But if it's flipped and that private business is like, I'm not going to make a gay cake, they're like, yeah, free speech. That's what's frustrating to me. That's the inconsistency I think you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's two things. That one is, it is like, imagine being someone, you're trapped in your own lack of logic, because if you do wear a mask, you look like you're supporting a mask mandate. So on principle, people who know, even if it is just about personal responsibility, they know they should wear a mask, they won't, because they're afraid that they'll look like they believe in what the government also agrees with. And so they don't want to get caught out. That's what I'm saying. They have to triangulate their fucking, ideology first and science and reality second. And then, the comments are saying exactly seatbelts, drinking and driving, how old you can be to drink anyway, how old you can be to buy cigarettes, like all the things. If you want to travel, you need to get your shots anyway. Tell you who's vaccinated. Migrants, immigrants who come to this country and become citizens are vaccinated.
Right. And there's never a priority on the actual information. For me, like I've read the studies and I've read a lot of information about this. And I know that like I want masks to work better than they do. They don't work amazingly, but they work better than not wearing masks. Like that's what's in all those studies. So I'm going to do the thing that works better. And I understand organizations and private businesses and individuals and governments that acknowledge that fact because it's reality.
Yeah.
That's and everyone who's working against that just wants to feel right. And for so long, like during the Trump administration, I was like, they're wrong, they're stupid, everything sucks, but like it hasn't negatively affected them in any tangible way, Trump's incompetence. But then it suddenly did. And even that monster that Trump grabbed the tail of bit him when he said, you guys should take the vaccine, and they booed him. Like that's what's so unwieldy about the entire Trump movement for people who are trying to lead it, when it reveals that the whole time they were actually kind of just following crazy with the algorithm wherever it led them.
I think that this is the last thing I'll say. We have to move on, but I am forever frustrated. I'm mad at Biden putting all the eggs in the vaccine basket. I think that was stupid as shit. And like, I definitely come down on more contact tracing, more involvement. I know, Australia's got protests now, even though they've done an incredible job at containing the virus. I'm with them. I'm with like the Australia and the New Zealand model. Right now, there's new estimates that show that we are on track to have 100,000 more deaths. It's putting us at what, like 730,000 deaths by December 1st, unless we do something. And that something is vaccination, but it's also wearing masks. And yeah, you're right, they don't always work, but the ones that do, like the actual N95s, do fucking work. You can wear that and it works for like 24, 48 hours, something like that. Whereas like cloth masks, it'll last for like an hour, et cetera, et cetera. That being said, I'd like a Biden mask, please. I'd like someone to give me a government-issued N95. Although the right would freak the fuck out about it, but you can make it cute or whatever.
Last point before we move on. Back to the ivermectin animal thing. Did you hear about the socialist veterinarian and what he believed in? It was a single spare system.
Thank you. I knew there was a pun there. Very good. A single spare system. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuationroom. Do it.